welcome back to the Soccer Brothers Podcast. This is episode number 48. I'm your host, Sal Qatar, and as always, I'm joined by my brother, Nihal. How you doing, Nihal?
I'm doing all right, man. I could be better. It's like 3 a.m. almost, and we just finished rewatching the U.S. versus Colombia match. Not a whole lot to be excited about, but there are some positives we can take away, maybe.
I think we had worse thoughts on it right after the match because we were just watching as fans the first time of the men's national team. So, there's some positives.
I think the best way to describe it is that meme from Dewey, from Malcolm in the Middle, where he's like, I expect nothing, yet I'm still disappointed. I mean, that is the existence of a U.S. national team fan.
I don't know if I expected nothing.
I mean, we were like, oh, we can get a point, but realistically, when the groups were drawn, my first reaction was we're going to lose to Colombia.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the whole I believe is just crap that you like to say before games.
Okay.
I mean, I tweeted that, but I don't know. Did I actually mean it? I don't know.
Well, we'll be with the Outlaws next week, so you better believe it, in Chicago.
One thing I criticized Michael Bradley for in this game was he wasn't ambitious enough.
I would agree with that.
Do you know how you can be ambitious, you, the listener?
How?
You can go to ambitiousstrike.com to check out merchandise from Ambitious Strike. How can you get a good deal at Ambitious Strike? Ask my brother.
Use the code BROTHERS at checkout for a 15% off discount. Ambitious Strike is a soccer-themed clothing apparel brand. It's great for soccer fans, for a casual fan, or even someone who doesn't like soccer. They just have great clothing. Go check it out. Use the code BROTHERS at checkout. As always, we will have a link to their website in the description.
All right, why don't we talk about the U.S. men's national team? The U.S. men's national team opened up the Copa America Centenario for them and for the whole tournament against Colombia on June 3rd, 2016 in Levi's Park in Santa Clara, California. And the goals were from Christian Zapata in the 8th minute and James Rodriguez in the 41st minute off a penalty.
Yeah, not a great showing at Levi Stadium for the U.S. men's national team. I like how you said Santa Clara like that because it might as well have been a home match for Colombia. I really don't have a whole lot to say without getting into the actual analysis. It wasn't a great showing. How about the opening ceremonies, though? I completely forgot that was actually going to be something that happened.
Did you watch that? I thought you missed that part.
Well, I watched Magic perform for a little while, then I left.
Yeah, Jason Derulo was all right, I guess.
Oh, really? Yeah, my friend texted me, and she was like, I know all these Spanish songs, but I was not there. I wasn't watching it. But, it was a decent atmosphere. It was pretty much sold out, the stadium, so... Yeah.
I mean, I think there was definitely mostly Colombia fans, but we could still hear the U.S. chants.
Yeah.
And we were definitely singing those before the 8th minute, where we saw Christian Zapata score off a corner kick delivered from Cardona, and really it was a pick play set from Torres, who was being marked by Bradley originally, and then Zapata came around him, who was supposed to be marked by Cameron, but Cameron, got stuck in the pick, and Zapata ended up finishing and putting past Guzan.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would hesitate to call it a pick. I mean, I guess it was, but it wasn't. It was deliberate. Like, it was a good set piece. It was deliberate for Zapata to run around Torres like that. But it really wasn't. It wasn't a pick. Cameron maybe should have done better. He was just inches away. Cameron, he had a decent game. And if you want to get more into how each individual player did, go check out my player ratings article at CentroDeportivo.com. I just recently started writing for them. That article should be up by Saturday morning. So go check that out. Sorry, shameless plug there. But Cameron should have done better.
Yeah.
Really, it started with a Jermaine Jones giveaway. Jermaine Jones tried to pass it across field, led to a counterattack, which Colombia is so good at. The ball, we saw Cardona hit those crossfield balls to Cuadrado all day. And this is where that started, really. He hit it. Cuadrado tried to beat Fabian Johnson. Johnson was a good position. Cuadrado gets a cross in, but Cameron's there to shepherd it out, corner kick, and then Colombia scores in the...
Yeah. Overall, I don't think Jeff Cameron had a bad game.
No, I thought he was actually good.
And in the 4th minute, even before this goal, he had that great roulette.
Yeah.
That, unfortunately, because of Fox's feed, gave it away before I even actually got to see the roulette.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry. Okay.
Well, if you do not like Fox's coverage, you can always listen to us at rabble.tv. I will leave, once again, another link. I'll leave a link to our Rabble profile in our description. What Rabble is, it's a service where you can mute your TV and listen to someone else live commentate the match. We're going to be doing Costa Rica versus Paraguay tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune into that. We're really excited to get into it. Someone actually recommended we do it back in August of last year. We haven't really gotten around to it because we've been in different cities. But we're going to try to do that as much as possible this summer. Check us out there. But yeah, back to Fox. Not great coverage. I'm not a huge fan of their coverage.
Yeah.
Although I did enjoy the halftime and pregame and postgame coverage.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the 2014 World Cup with ESPN.
No,
that was great.
Yeah, I related to Lala. I agreed with Lala on most things there.
I know, and that's scary.
Yeah, but I thought Dempsey was actually pretty significant in the first half in that false 9 role. Besides just the set pieces, he had some nice interplay a few times with Zardes. He was making some good one-touch passes.
Yeah. He had that chance that in the 36th minute where Zardes had a good passage of play and Dempsey just skimmed the left post, really. Had David Ospina beat. Could have been 1-1 there. But then the second goal happened.
Yes, the second goal happened, which really started from a Bradley giveaway, but...
Bad touch by Bradley there.
Yeah. I can't, do you remember who took the shot on Yedlin?
I believe it was Cardona. Was it a cross? It was either Cardona or Diaz.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly who it was, but then DeAndre Yedlin, I think it was a clear handball. I don't think there's really any debate. I mean, it wasn't intentional, so I guess there is that gray area. But I think when you have your hand out like that, it's a handball.
It was pretty unnatural. I mean, like...
Right, it was unnatural.
He raised it just as the ball was coming in, which I don't think helped his case.
Yeah.
Just
put your hands behind your back. I agree with Lawless. I mean, that's what you should do. That's what you see a lot of good defenders do.
Yeah. His team is harder, but I don't know.
I mean, it is hard, yeah. But, I don't know. It was a killer. It really was. And it really killed.
James Rodriguez had a perfect PK in the bottom right corner, put it past Guzan. Made him go the wrong way, and it ended up being 2-0.
I don't know why Guzan went the other way. I don't know what made him do that. As Friedel said, left-footed kickers usually go to the side that James did. It's just easier to go across your body like that. I don't know.
So do right-footed takers usually go to the left?
Yeah. Don't you when you're taking... Don't you go right?
I go right. I go right and I'm left-footed, yeah.
Yeah. I go left.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So I think... I don't know. I guess maybe... I don't know. Maybe James' last few penalty kicks were the other way, but... just a disappointing first half. Not really bad play by the United States men's national team, but disappointing to go into halftime down 2-0, and the U.S. really never bounced back from that.
Yeah. In the second half, the U.S. did have our fair share of chances.
As did Colombia.
Yeah, as did Colombia. The first major chance, though, was in the 59th minute when Dempsey had a header that was... not a header.
It was a header, yeah.
Yeah, it was a header.
From a corner kick.
That was cleared off the line by...
Diaz.
No, not Diaz. Sorry.
Perez.
Perez. And that went out for a throw-in, but right when Bradley delivered that, it looked like it was going in.
Yeah, it was a good header, a great clear off the line by Perez. You thought when Dempsey headed it, you felt like it was going to go in. But I think even if Perez didn't clear it, Ospina had it covered maybe. But that's why you put a man on the post. It worked out for Colombia there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then in the 64th minute, only a few minutes later, Dempsey took a free kick and it forced a pretty good Ospina save. When he tried to put it in the top right corner, he just didn't have enough pace on it.
Yeah, it was a good save. Dempsey you wish Dempsey put a little bit more power on it. I mean, Dempsey was the most dangerous player all night, really. And he really had a sort of an indifferent match. But do you remember anyone else having a clear-cut chance? I'm sure you'll get to Bedoya's in a second, where he just blasted it over the top.
Yeah.
I don't remember anyone else having a clear opportunity. Dempsey was in the right spots. It was a good free kick, though. It was.
Yeah. And then the 68th minute, the next. Yeah, in the 68th minute, well, first of all, we saw this Bedoya Ronaldo shot, which for some reason I put in here in my notes. It didn't really lead to anything, but then later it actually did lead to the Colombia counterattack, which was great interplay. And on the same play, we saw James get injured, but we saw James pass to Baca. Baca played it across with his right foot with a really nice through ball to Cuadrado, who crossed it back in, and Baca hit it off the right post. And
I don't think it hit the post. I think Yedlin...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yedlin deflected it. It looks like
Yedlin and one other defender deflected it.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it hit the post in real time, but when we went back and looked at it, Yedlin put his body on the line, and it went wide. But once again, Cuadrado on that right wing from the counterattack is lethal. And that's what this team wanted to do. That's what we talked about in the preview. This is a counterattacking team. They played that 4-5-1 or the 4-4-2, really, or the 4-2-2-2 with James and Baca, with James going up top. But Cuadrado is that one outlet, and you saw it time and time again. Cardona passing it over, Diaz crossing it to Cuadrado. Even this time, Baca looking for Cuadrado on that right wing. Just a really dangerous player. And I thought Fabian Johnson held his own, actually, against him.
Yeah.
Against Cuadrado, that is.
Yeah, and then in the 77th minute, this was one of the big chances for Baca, where Cardona sends it into Baca, and then with a nice through ball, and then Baca is one-on-one with Guzan, and then hits the crossbar. And when we rabbled this, I thought for sure that was going in.
Yeah. I thought it was going in, too, and I still don't know if Guzan got a touch on it, maybe. I don't think he did. I think Baca just missed it, and you expect Baca to score, but I think that's a really big break for the United States. 3-0, a -3 goal differential is much worse than a -2 goal differential.
Definitely.
And hopefully Colombia can beat down Costa Rica and Paraguay in the next two matches.
Definitely. In the 79th minute, there was kind of a loose ball, but it looked in the path of Pulisic, but Dempsey just took the shot. And I could understand Pulisic didn't really let it be known that it was his ball.
Yeah, he didn't assert himself.
Yeah, he didn't assert himself, and then Dempsey took it with his left foot, and it went wide. But Pulisic, I wish we would have seen him do a little bit more. A few minutes later, he did do some hard work against the Colombian defenders in the 81st minute and forced a throw-in.
That's the fight we want to see. That's what we've been missing as a U.S. national team. And I'll get a little bit more into this in the 3 things we learned section. But that's the kind of fight, the kind of urgency that the U.S. was very much lacking in this match. Yeah.
Pulisic, he just provides this spark. And then after actually off that throw-in, Bedoya ends up skying it because Fabian Johnson receives the throw-in and he crosses it to Zardes, and Zardes couldn't really get a head on it. It goes over. Bedoya comes in with his left foot and just skies it, hits the wrong part of the ball.
Yeah.
And he looked disappointed after that one.
He should be disappointed.
Yeah. And then in the 83rd minute, it looks like Baca was one-on-one with Guzan again, but he came way out of the box and cleared it.
Guzan did.
Yeah, Guzan did.
Guzan came off his line quickly. And Guzan, I thought, had a good match, too, to be honest. I mean, maybe he could have done better on the first goal. I don't think so. Maybe on the second goal, but penalty kicks are always sort of a crapshoot. I thought Guzan actually held his own, and he had a pretty good match.
Yeah. Those are definitely a lot of the major moments. But what did you think of Gyasi Zardes' performance? I thought there was some up moments and.
Well, there was a one pass everyone is jiffing where remember we thought it was a great pass the other way, but it ended up coming towards us as viewers.
Oh right. Yeah. Okay.
But I thought his first touch was decent in the first half. He had some great play. He had a 1-2 with Cameron that set him free down that right wing. He beat a couple of Colombian defenders by himself and sent Bobby Wood, who was a little offside.
Yeah.
He was active. The one thing though is he didn't really create many opportunities on the right wing there. He's a central player. He is playing out of position, but he was never going to beat Diaz one-on-one. and send it across.
I think I don't know if we talked about that Jeff Cameron 1-2 yet.
I just mentioned it.
You just said that. Yeah. That's kind of the definition of creating your own chance.
No, because what I'm talking about,
opening. Okay.
He didn't create anything in the box.
Right.
He didn't set up any opportunities. And to be fair, neither did Bobby Wood on the left side. Neither did anyone really outside of set pieces. Besides Dempsey trying to do whatever he could by himself. Just not a whole lot of positive play in terms of how the U.S. conducted itself in the final third. A lot of lateral passes. We kept possession. We won the possession battle, had 53% possession. Colombia only had one more shot than we did, but we had 5 less on target. So, that really tells you all you need to know there. And our 2 shots on target were from Dempsey on the corner kick and on the free kick there. It was not a very positive performance in terms of how we conducted ourselves. Not a very positive performance in terms of what we can take away and how optimistic we can be. But when all is said and done, this is a World Cup quarterfinal team that lost to the host nation. This is a team that's ranked 3rd in the world right now. A team with the likes of James Rodriguez and Juan Cuadrado, Carlos Baca. But, you would like to have seen the fight from the U.S., the urgency. And that's what really leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And that's what bothers me the most.
One thing that I noticed throughout this game is that, we tried to play through the center a lot and we could never really find any combinations. And then at some points, we just played these crosses that just kind of seemed unrealistic. They weren't really from the players that I wanted to. I didn't see Fabian Johnson delivering as many crosses as I thought I would. And a lot of times they just sailed over the main targets and then went to the back post and nothing really came of any of it.
Yeah, you thought DeAndre Yedlin had a good opportunity where he just crossed it over. The one interplay I can remember is Jones and Bradley early in the first half where they looked good with each other. But other than that, it looked like a disjointed performance, as you said. Fabian Johnson, left back is not his best position. He doesn't get into the attack like that, especially when he has to deal with Juan Cuadrado and Arias on that right side. Excuse me. He has to sort of stay back because Colombia likes to counterattack. If he's getting forward, then it's going to leave the U.S. at a disadvantage. And I remember I talked about this on the previous podcast. Can DeAndre Yedlin and Fabian Johnson stay disciplined? Because when one goes forward, the other one has to stay back. Otherwise, they're going to find us on a counter. Remember I said that? It seemed like DeAndre Yedlin was the only one going forward, and I'm sure that's something that Klinsmann instilled in this team, with maybe Giassi Zardes pinching in a little bit more and Bobby Wood staying up further. But you would really like to see Fabian Johnson get into the attack because he's the best he has the best final ball on this national team. He's our best creator. He's our best attacker. He needs to get into the attack.
Yeah, you mentioned Yedlin going to the attack. There was one time in specific when I remember, Yedlin was kind of too far up, and then Zardes had to cover for him, and he made a great clearance in the 31st minute.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, that was a great, and that's an example of it. And it's okay if he goes forward. You just want to see the final ball. You want to see him deliver a dangerous ball. And part of the problem is we don't really have a target striker in there.
We don't.
But
But then the whole point of the false nine was, for Zardes and Wood to be threats, making those diagonal runs into the box. But that was just not.
It didn't happen.
In this game. And part of that...
the runs... Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the runs happened, but the delivery wasn't there.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because, Bradley just did not seem like he was involved as much as he did in the friendlies. And I understand it's Colombia, but it defeats this whole formation, this whole style of play, I think, if Bradley is not at least... Well, first of all, he needs to play more long balls.
Right.
As we saw, that's how Bobby Wood got most of his touches against Bolivia, and that made him dangerous. And then Zardes can slip into that central role, and he can become the striker that we don't actually have on paper.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the one positive that you could take away is that Klinsmann used the formation we all predicted, and a lineup that we all predicted. This is what we thought was going to happen. That being said, I don't think I would have been too upset if Klinsmann did play Kyle Beckerman in this match and had Bradley as a more of an attacking midfielder. Or maybe played a 4-4-2. And I was thinking that going into the match just because it's Colombia. But the problem was, if once that lineup came out, immediately Twitter would have had a meltdown. U.S. fans would have had a meltdown. Why are we switching back to the 4-4-2? All this stuff. Why is Beckerman playing? And I get that. It's not like this team performed poorly, but maybe Kyle Beckerman in this type of match helps the U.S. But I think, maybe not Kyle Beckerman.
Did you actually want Kyle Beckerman to start?
No, but I think I would have understood it if Klinsmann went that way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I wanted Nagby to start, as I said before. And what did you think about Nagby? He was on for, I think, about 28 minutes or so. 25 minutes. Yeah.
Well, not including subs.
We'll talk about that later, about how late Klinsmann put in his subs. But did you think he made as big of an impact as you thought he would? Because I thought he was a little underwhelming.
He was a little underwhelming, but it's hard to get into a match when you come on that late. Especially when no one around you is doing anything. So, I'm not saying he couldn't have done better, but when he got the ball, he was still looking forward. Not many other players were. Yeah.
No, that's what I was telling you in the first half. Nagby is actually so aware of where everyone is, and he just doesn't hesitate before he makes a pass.
Exactly. And that's why he needs to be there. And I think he will start against Costa Rica. I'm hoping he does. I hope it's Bedoya, or maybe even Zuzi, Bedoya, Nagby, and Bradley in the midfield. And maybe Bobby Wood, Christian Pulisic, and Graham Zuzi up top. I mean, we really don't have any other outside midfielders. Maybe Bedoya goes up top. I don't really I don't really know. Fabian Johnson, maybe? Fabian Johnson, Pulisic.
Castillo at left back.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I would like to see Pulisic start.
Yeah, I would too. I think Wood, Pulisic, and Johnson is their best possible front three.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
As a defender, how big do you think the gap is between Castillo and Johnson?
Well, I think Castillo plays left back every week for a team that lost in the championship in Liga MX, which is a legitimate league. Cardona is a player. He plays for Monterrey. He's Edgar Castillo's teammate. I mean, these guys can play. Uruguay national team has two.
Fabian Johnson has played full seasons at left back, though, right?
He has. Jeff Cameron has played full seasons at right back, but that's before.
I know. I'm saying the gap in talent at left back for both these players.
I think it's about the same that you see. I think it's the same difference between Fabian Johnson and Gyasi Zardes. I think the gap is way overbuilt. I think maybe, yes, that is how you get the best players on the field, playing Fabian Johnson at left back. But I think Edgar Castillo is a capable defender, and I think he gets a bad rap. And I'm okay with seeing him against Costa Rica. I think we will. But, this is why Jorge Villafana should have gotten called up a couple months ago. That being said, Edgar Castillo had a fantastic season in Liga MX, and Tom Marshall even said it. If you haven't listened to that, go check that out. We had an interview with Tom Marshall, episode 46 of the podcast, where he talked about the Mexican national team, and we talked a little bit about Liga MX and the season that Edgar Castillo had, and he had a really good season. And, maybe even Matt Beasler plays left back. I mean, I want to see Fabian Johnson in the attack. I really do.
He might still be able to become more part of the attack against Costa Rica than he would against Colombia, still playing left back.
I want him to always be there because not only, if I'm a right back, I'm not scared of Gyasi Zardes. But I am of Fabian Johnson. Fabian Johnson is a proven player at the highest level of the game. A proven attacking player.
Yeah.
And when he played left, he's a good fullback. He's a really good fullback. But I think the U.S. national team is better. We saw it against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We saw it against Bosnia and Herzegovina. There's another match I'm forgetting where he played left mid, where he was really good. Remember Josie Altidor's goal where Fabian Johnson...
Turkey.
Well, no, he played right back there.
Yeah. But he was still like he was an attacker.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Josie Alcidar's goal. Panama. When Fabian Johnson sends it across and Josie Altidore scores in Seattle. In Bosnia, where Fabian Johnson has that beautiful run into the midfield, beating like Pjanic and Spahic and these guys, and sends it to Josie and he scores. I mean, that's what this guy can do when he's playing up front. And, you know, maybe Edgar Castillo is not the long-term answer, but we need to find a left back. We really do. And I think, you know, I just want Fabian Johnson in the attack.
Okay.
I mean, that's really the bottom line. And if we sacrifice a little bit at left back, ultimately I'm okay with that because I think this is the best center back partnership we've ever had. I don't think that's hyperbole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I may disagree. I don't think we should necessarily give up on this system or even this lineup yet.
I don't think so either. But the match is only 3 days away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this goes. Why don't we get into our keys?
Okay.
Not our keys.
The three things we
learned from the game. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, this is a new segment we're doing called 3 Things We Learned, where we each have 3 things we learned. Pretty self-explanatory. It's just an interesting way to sort of synthesize what we've learned into 3 quick hits, essentially. 3 quick kicks.
Okay, so my first thing that I learned or was reinforced was that I don't think Colombia need to have James to be threatening in this tournament. I mean, we saw them create a lot of chances, particularly through Cardona, towards the latter quarter of that game, and you know, Baca had his crossbar chance, and I think one of his post chance after James had exited the game, and they looked really good, and I think that they can be more direct than they make it seem, and sometimes they try to play through James when they really just don't need to.
Yeah. I think I would amend that to say they don't need to rely on James to do well in this tournament. I think if they have aspirations of winning, they need James Rodriguez in there.
Okay.
Just because he has so much free reign in there. He creates so much. I mean, even just the touches he makes, the vision he has, it's unparalleled. Most national teams don't have any players like that. And James is one of the best of the world in that position.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was more specifically talking about like the fact that like he might not return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I almost put that as one of my 3 things I learned. This team doesn't need to rely on James Rodriguez. But the U.S. is also not Argentina. It's not Brazil. It's not Mexico. So, we'll see if James is not there, how they do against those teams, because maybe it allows them to more easily mark Baca and Cuadrado on that counterattack.
So do you think that you're indirectly saying that there were some defensive lapses between Brooks and Cameron where Baca was able to get through? Or is it unstoppable? Or something?
I think the reason Baca got through in the second half was because we were pushing for a goal. Yeah.
That's definitely true.
So I don't know if I even... I think if James was there, they maybe got a third goal in the last 15 minutes. But, I mean, I think I agree with you. I think this team is much, much better off than without James than we thought they would be without James.
Yeah. Okay. What was your first thing that you learned?
The United States men's national team does not have a leader. Where is the vocal leader? Where is the guy who's going to rally the troops? Where is the Carlos Bocanegra? Or even a Jimmy Conrad, someone who is vocal, someone who will, like I said, rally troops, inspire the team to play it to take it to the next level. Since Carlos Bocanegra retired from the men's national team, or wasn't called up, we haven't had that. Clint Dempsey's not a vocal leader; he's not a vocal captain.
I was struggling to find how he was captain, or how he used to be captain.
Because he's the best player.
Yeah, well, that's not what a captain is.
No, I know. Michael Bradley.
Ronaldo's not the captain.
Well, he is actually. For Portugal.
For Real Madrid, though.
Yeah, I know. Michael Bradley, you would think would be that guy, but he always is just complaining at the ref. He's not rallying people. Jermaine Jones was not very vocal in this match. Tim Howard is not on the field.
I was going to say,
So, we don't have that vocal leader. We don't have that vocal leader. And it's really disappointing because it takes away that edge. It takes away that hunger. The team just looks all out of sorts. There's no passion. There's no urgency. There's no belief. It seems like there's absolutely no pride in what they're representing in wearing that crest. And I don't know if it's because Donald Trump is leading in the polls. I'm joking. I'm joking. If you're a Donald Trump supporter, I respect you. Maybe. Wow. But I respect your views. But where's the passion? We need that leader. We need someone. I mean, you look at you need someone like Andres Guardado who's going to rally the team. At least we're a team that needs that because we're not as technical, we're not as talented as some of the other teams in the world. And I just feel like we're seriously, seriously lacking that. And we're also lacking one player to rely on in play. For many years, that was Landon Donovan. But, he single-handedly brought us back against Serbia when we were down 2-0. Or Slovenia, excuse me. Yeah. When we were down 2-0. He kept us in the game against Ghana in the 2010 World Cup. Where is that guy? Dempsey at the 2014 World Cup was fantastic in being a leader on the field, or in terms of his play. But, his work rate's there, but it's so disjointed. And maybe it's because they've all given up on Klinsmann. That's another possibility.
I mean, if you actually look at the lineup and look at what team we played with today, probably only four. No. Okay. Well, maybe there's no excuse.
No, I mean...
because there's 5 or 6 players who were playing before the World Cup.
Yeah. I think John Brooks has the opportunity to be a vocal leader.
Yeah.
I think he's the guy. Well, not even Guzan, Yedlin, Cameron, Brooks, Johnson, Bedoya, Bradley, Jones, Dempsey. 9 of the 11 players were on the World Cup roster. 8 of those players played. Guzan is the only guy who didn't.
Yeah.
They're all World Cup a lot of them are World Cup veterans. So it's frustrating to see no passion in this team, no fight, no urgency. We came out of the second half, we didn't have a chance until the 60th minute. We weren't pressing. Jermaine Jones once went flying up trying to get the ball when the fans started olaying. Christian Pulisic, like I said, was the only guy who I felt like was trying out there in the second half. I just didn't see the fight I wanted to see, and I have expected to see. It was really disappointing. It was just really disappointing, that aspect of it. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, let's move on.
All right. Second thing you learned.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you might have this too, but I just said Jurgen Klinsmann needs to make his subs earlier.
I don't have that.
Oh, you actually don't have that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure you can agree with me here.
I do.
Pulisic and Nagbe, should have come on a lot earlier because, as you were saying, we were basically producing nothing in the early part of the second half, and that these players are going to come on and provide a spark. They haven't not yet.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we were lacking. Jermaine Jones wasn't really providing us any creativity, and Michael Bradley wasn't the player that we saw in the friendlies. Right. So you had to bring on Nagbe earlier.
When Jermaine Jones came off the field and was angry, bring that passion, bring that vocal leadership onto the field. But yeah, I agree with you. They should have been on at the beginning of the second half. You're down 2 goals. What the hell are you waiting for?
Yeah, I agree.
Bring one of them on. This is a international tournament where we want to advance. What are you waiting for? What about that first half makes you think we would have gotten the second goal?
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand.
You don't make a formation change, you don't bring any subs, and you expect to score after being down 2-0. You don't just,
And creating one opportunity in the first half. It just doesn't make sense.
And I think Colombia actually, I forgot his name right now, but their manager...
Peckerman.
Yeah, Peckerman.
Jose Peckerman.
Kind of did outmanage, because I did see a change in their look in the second half compared to the first half that did provide more defensive support.
Right. Well, and you almost feel like Colombia didn't even hit this. Yeah, it was sort of an even match in terms of possession and all that, but you feel like Colombia didn't hit it into second gear, really. They're much better than they should.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
They didn't need to.
In terms of finishing and just how much
everything.
They did, yeah.
Chance creation. Like, they didn't need to in the second half. Because we didn't do anything. We didn't take the match to them. There was no urgency. We're down 2-0 in our first tournament at home since 1994, and probably our only our non-gold cup. And we're not doing anything. We're not taking the game to Colombia. We're not making changes. Klinsmann's just sitting there drinking his water. Sulking. Have some urgency. Put it on yourself. I want him to take the blame and not say, we're absolutely okay with the team's performance. Are you kidding me? You're okay with that? I understand it's Colombia. They're a better team. If we lost and we showed the passion, we showed the urgency, it reminds me of our match against Guatemala in the second half. We were down 2-0 and we didn't do anything. It's just really frustrating.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you. And I have a point that. Wait, that's your second point?
No. You were still talking about. We're still talking about subs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, my third point kind of brings up a counter argument to that ish.
Oh, okay. Well, let me do my second.
Yeah, do your second.
My second thing I learned. We can't rely on set pieces. Yes, Clint Dempsey had an opportunity, 2 opportunities on the header and on the free kick. But we had so many free kicks within 35 yards of goal in the first half, we didn't do anything with. We had corner kicks we didn't do anything with. We had 4 corner kicks in this match. Clint Dempsey, that's the only one that really, really had any opportunity. We had the height advantage. That's something Colombia prepared for, probably. That's something we thought we would win, set pieces. They scored on 2. We didn't do anything. We can't rely on set pieces only. Yes, they're a big part of the game. We can have those in our arsenal to try to score. But your game plan can't be, let's force a corner kick, let's score. Because that's what it seemed like it was. Get Zardes and Wood on the wing and try to force a corner. It just doesn't work. And we were not able to capitalize on those set pieces. And I said in the last podcast, there are 2 things we need to capitalize on: set pieces and the counterattack when Colombia's fullbacks come forward. We did neither of those things. Colombia's fullbacks bomb forward. Oh, let's just walk around and let them pass around. Go get the ball. Get the ball. Why is Christian Pulisic, a 17-year-old left winger, the only guy going for the ball?
Yeah. Force them to pass it back to Ospina and then kick it upfield.
You're at home and 80,000 Colombian fans are olaying against you. How embarrassing is that? How does that not light a fire within you as a player? And Jermaine Jones, to his credit, when they started olaying, he ran up the field trying to get the ball. I never want to hear anything about foreign-born players because Jermaine Jones and John Brooks were the only 2 players on the field besides Christian Pulisic that showed any semblance of passion tonight. And I know I keep on going back to this, but it's just disappointing.
I don't know.
Maybe even Bedoya.
I don't know. I didn't see consistent passion. I mean, you could tell that Jossie Zardes worked hard at some points throughout the match. I thought that he did. Passion
and urgency. But even after the match, it just seemed like they were content with what happened.
No, well, the biggest problem I had with after the match is them saying or Guzan saying that he didn't think it was a handball. Or was that Jack Cameron? Someone said that.
They all said it.
Yeah.
They all said it was a good performance. Cameron, Bradley, Guzan. They said it was a good performance.
That's because Klinsmann hands them note cards before the game.
Exactly. Well, Yedlin went on Twitter and said, shout out to the soccer experts. You don't need to be an expert. To see simple things like this. How can you call out the fans when you do that on the field, when you show what you did on the field tonight? We are passionate. We are all passionate. we live and die by this team, and the players should too.
That's actually ridiculous. I didn't know about that tweet.
You're representing us as a country. This is not, This is not like football, or like it's not like the Packers where Aaron Rodgers is from California. You guys all represent the United States because you're American. We're all American, and we're all we're supposed to be one nation, one team, and we're supposed to have that passion. Every national team is. It's just really disappointing. That's all. I know I'm ranting. I feel like it's the 2015 Gold Cup all over again.
Yeah, well, really, it's not.
And I don't want to. I'm not saying it's over because we can still get out of this group. It's still definitely possible. But it's just, that aspect really, really disappoints me. Okay, let's get to the third thing you learned.
Yeah, well, the third thing I learned, and okay, I said just sometimes you're just less talented. And, okay. And mainly what I'm talking about here is our tactical approach to the match and not changing our tactical approach in the next match.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that Klinsmann did the wrong thing going to the match. I'm fine with the way we lined up. I think we still looked better than some other matches through this World Cup qualifying campaign.
It was better than Guatemala on the road.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's just really embarrassing for Guatemala to just run down our throats. But the other part of this is that it's Colombia. They're one of the best teams. They're one of the best teams in the world, and we shouldn't just panic all of a sudden and change our tactical approach, because it seems like this game doesn't throw away the identity that we've created. I think that Michael Bradley was a huge part to our success, and he just didn't show up today, and that's one of the reasons that we didn't look as proactive.
Yeah, I thought he was okay in the first half besides that giveaway. But yeah, he wasn't great. He was left on an island, though, really by himself. I mean, I don't know if you can call it an island when he's between... It's just like... He was by himself. He was isolated. But I agree with you, But really, are we really that much less talented outside of Baca, Cuadrado, and James Rodriguez? If you didn't know who was playing tonight, and you saw these players going against each other... I mean, don't you think we have a better back line?
Possibly.
Like, objectively.
But possibly, but they have a better attack in comparison.
Yeah, they do.
So we can't...
What about their midfield? Their midfield shouldn't be that much better.
Their back line might be worse, but our attack cannot...
Well, they can't create
abuse us like their attack can to us.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
And I mean, I don't think this should, get anyone down. I mean, remember, we when we first saw this draw, we said, okay, let's get 4 to 6 points, because we weren't gonna win all 3 of these matches, and right. I didn't think any of us really thought we were gonna beat Colombia. And I'm kind of defending Klinsmann here. I think the mistake he made was not changing anything in the second half, not bringing any subs. But the way we came into this game, and I also don't like what he said after the match, but the way we came into this game is fine to me, and if he sticks with this approach in the next game, that's fine to me, because it's Colombia who we lost to, and we're
that's what Yeah, I would agree with that. I still think I just don't know.
See, we didn't have this problem in the World Cup because we played Germany last.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's down to the draw.
We played Paraguay first, and then we beat them.
Which is why is this tournament 1 versus 2 first? First versus second. Is that how it always is in all tournaments? I guess actually that is, because Germany played Portugal first in the World Cup. We're just never in pot 1 or 2. But don't you think it should be 1 versus 4? Shouldn't it be 1 versus 4 first? And I don't know. I mean, that's just getting into other shit. But no, I agree with you, but the thing is, winning the first match or getting a draw of the first match is crucial, and the Fox team did a good job saying only 15% of the time you lose the first match and you get through. But that's all things. That's every match ever. Like that's every group stage team that's lost the first match ever. Usually, if you lose the first match, you are not a great team. But it's very rare that you have one decent team coming up with one really, really good team and they lose, and they don't advance if they're the second best team in the group or the best team in the group. So there's still an opportunity there. I agree with you. Why don't we go to the third thing I learned? David Ospina is still a class keeper. And I think, unfortunately, he hasn't been... He wasn't super active tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you approve that?
He wasn't. I think he did. I think he made some good saves. I think he commanded his back line well. And I think, Besiktas is in for him. He hasn't played much at Arsenal. I think 22 appearances for Arsenal in the league.
He made
one save.
One good save.
Yeah, but I think the way he conducted himself.
Okay. I mean, I think he led the back line. Yeah, he was...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he deserves... Maybe I would amend that to say he's going to be a starter next year on some team.
Okay.
And, whether it's Besiktas or some other team, this is a guy who had almost 160 appearances for Nice. He deserves to play at a better club. That's all I'm saying. Or not at a better club, but he deserves to play at a club.
So you think we would have needed, a lot more chances for us to tie this game?
I think so. I mean, the Clint Dempsey one that he barely missed was an excellent chance.
Part of me just knows that if Pulisic took that Dempsey/Pulisic chance, then it would have been on target. It would have been a goal.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know about that, but
I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
is there anything else to really talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I hope we can find a leader, like you said, in the next match. Our players can stop saying stupid stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
And, Klinsmann can start, taking some blame. I mean, you can take... I mean, in this match, I think it's okay to put blame on the players, too.
Yeah, definitely.
He just said we did not play as well as Colombia did today.
No, we didn't. We had the possession.
Yeah. I mean, that's... whatever. I don't know what that... Yeah.
All right. Well, that pretty much concludes the podcast. Make sure to check out AmbitiousStrike.com. Ambitious Strike is a soccer-themed clothing apparel brand. Go check them out. Use the code BROTHERS at checkout for a 15% off discount. The link to the description, as always, is down below.
On June 4th, you can check out our coverage on Rabble TV of Costa Rica versus Paraguay.
It's at 5 p.m. Eastern. The match is on Fox Sports 1. Tune in to what we have to say. We're excited to continue rabbling.
It's important to the U.S., too, if you're a U.S. fan. So
right. And we are the Soccer Brothers Podcast on Rabble TV. Our name is Soccer Brothers Podcast. Our username is Soccer Brothers Podcast, but our name is the Soccer Brothers Podcast on Rabble. I'll leave a link to our Rabble channel in the description as well.
Yeah, email us questions at soccerbrothersPodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, at SoccerBrothersPod.
You can also email your comments to us. We want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, definitely. Any way you can contact us, do that. And, we're closing in on 50.
We're closing in on 50. Make sure to go check out our interview with Tom Marshall on episode 46. Also, keep a lookout for my article on Centro Deportivo on the U.S. men's national team's player ratings.
Yeah, that Tom Marshall interview is, not outdated. We've got a few more days before Mexico plays their first game. We talk a lot about their first match versus Chile.
Yeah.
Sorry, Uruguay.
Yeah. They played Chile in the final. Definitely check it out. Check out our older interviews, too. We got some great ones. Ian Joy, episode 6. A lot of that is still relevant, I think. Phil Shane, too. We had a great interview with him. But yeah, we're closing in on 50, man. We're also closing in on 50 minutes here. But, it's been a wild ride.
Definitely. From, I don't know. From not having a sponsor to having a sponsor.
From not having a mic to having a mic.
Oh, yeah. From not commentating to commentating.
Yeah, exactly. It's been...
made a lot of steps on our way up.
Yeah.
We're going to have our own t-shirt soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully that happens. We're looking into that. But anyway, keep an eye out for our next podcast detailing the matches from the weekend. Definitely check us out on Rabble TV tomorrow. And then we'll schedule the next match for Rabble tomorrow as well. We are also going to be in Chicago for the United States versus Costa Rica match. If you listen to us and if you're there, please let us know. We can meet up and have a good day, guys. Hopefully, you guys aren't too down with the U.S. men's national team loss. I believe we can bounce back.
I believe that we will win.